In this episode of the Weekend Animation Studio, I will be doing a lip sync exercise. Unlike in the last episode, I have an idea of what I want to do first, so we can hit the ground running. I've got to make a character, a small set, and all of the replacement mouths, so let's get cracking. In order to make things easier for myself and avoid delays, I have condensed this project into 4 main points: audio, set, puppet, and production. Audio is the dialogue I will be animating to, set and puppet are self-explanatory, i.e. building a set and a character, and production is the animation and edit side of things. So, let's begin with the audio. I recorded the line of dialogue I wanted to animate to, and started the process of syncing up the mouth shapes in Dragonframe. I had decided to use replacement animation for the lip sync, which is when we use lots of different mouth shapes and swap them between frames. I'm quite fond of this method, as I have used it on all of my projects that involve lip sync.
Red Bull also gives you wings, so you don't have to take the bus.
Brilliant!
Dragonframe has a track read feature, which allows you to sync up audio in the program. You can make custom face sets as well, however, since this isn't a big project, the default Dr. Sock will work fine. Once this was done, I turned my attention to the character and set. I drew a rough outline of the character and worked out where the armature would go. I then twisted 3 lengths of 1.5mm armature wire together in a drill before cutting this into 3 pieces. For the spine, legs and arms. I then grabbed some milliput and mixed the 2 parts together before moulding this onto the armature to join the pieces together, as well as making the arms and legs bend in the correct place by putting it on the wire. I also made a head for the puppet and put a piece of K&S into the head to allow it to be removed from the puppet. Milliput will go rock hard in around 4 hours at room temperature, so I left it to harden and started building a small set. To save time, I used an old box to create the set. I started by cutting half the box up and then glued a few pieces together in order to strengthen the walls and the floor. I then made a countertop out of the spare pieces which were hot glued on. Whilst I reviewed the time lapse of me making this, I noticed that how bad my glue gun wasted glue while I was not using it. Whoops. After the glue cooled, I cut out the window and then mixed some paint together to paint the walls. I found out right as I was going to paint the walls that I didn't have any white paint, which is why the walls are orange. After taking a break, I returned to the puppet to check on the milliput, which had set. I then cut another piece of K&S to glue on top of the armature in order to be able to connect the puppet to its head. After this, I then added plasticine to the puppet to fill out the body and create the clothing. I also added plasticine to the puppet's head and created the eye replacements. Now, with the head done, this allowed me to work out what scale I can build the mouth replacements to. Very simply, I drew each mouth out on a normal piece of A4 printer paper and cut it out with a pair of scissors. To make sure I didn't mix up the replacements, I then marked them with what number they are on the back to make things easier when shooting. I then shot a quick test animation and then set the scene up and got shooting. After shooting, it was a quick drag and drop into an editor, added some text and a camera move in post, and there we have it, a short lip sync test. Now, what do I think went well? Overall, I think the replacements worked. It looks like the character is saying what's in the audio, and I feel this is okay for a test animation. What could be improved? Well, the R mouth shape is wrong, and it looks funny when the character is talking. The L shape is also a bit odd, but this is less noticeable. I feel that the R needs to be more round, like the O replacement, but more oval in shape. But this is something that will be worked into future projects. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series so far. If you haven't watched the other episodes, I'll put them into a playlist for your convenience. I hope you have a nice day. Please subscribe and you'll be able to see more animation content like this. And hopefully we'll get some proper projects going once I finish the series. I hope you have a nice day and take care.